Hello there, Virgos. So thank you for joining me today, and I hope this reading finds you well. I have some images that I want to convey to you, and let me do it fast before I forget. I saw two images. Okay, so first of all, they're both really amazing images. So I feel like this is going to be a really transformative month for many of you. Okay. First of all, I see this group, this location. Okay, it's been kind of reserved to build something. All I see is like people coming in to like manually stomp down the ground, the dirt, pack the dirt in, because they're prepping it to build something, and it's a large piece of land that is being built, that is being reserved to build something. Okay. And then next thing I see people coming in, like the brick masons, people hauling in huge stones, and they're cut up into like rectangular shapes and square shapes. So they're all like pristinely, or I feel like meticulously cut up. And so everything is happening in almost like quick speed. Okay, so you fast forward, the stonemason comes in, the bricklayers come in, and they lay the bricks down, they lay the stones down. They put like a layer of cement, I guess, as a binding agent to keep the rocks in place. And then the scaffolds start going up. So I felt like this was going to be a really, really big building that they're building, like a really tall building. A skyscraper, something huge. Okay, and it seemed like it's not in present time. And so the scaffold goes up, and then all of a sudden they bring in these beautiful stained glass windows. And so at the end of it, you see this cathedral, and they put in the windows, they start painting the sides, and they start putting in all the details. And then it fast forwards some more, and before you know it, the cathedral is completed. Okay, there's a steeple, and the bells start ringing on the steeple, and people start to congregate and go inside the steeple. Okay, it's a really beautiful steeple. It took a very, very long time to build. It's built in a way with brick and mortar, where it will be, or stone and mortar, where it will withstand the test of time. And, it will withstand the elements and all the details, the intricate details, the glasswork, the mosaic glass and the stained glass windows, and even the bells, the bell on the steeple. I feel that everything is laid down and done very meticulously, because you have like the best of the best coming in to build this monument. And so I feel like this is your legacy. I feel like this is your life. The steeple is your life. It's an amalgamation of all your life experiences, pretty much converging. The brick mason, the people who, set up the scaffold, the painters, the welders, all the manual laborers that have to come, that have to come together. Even the architects, the engineers, they all have to come together to design this. So I feel almost like, things just don't happen out of thin air, right? We have to visualize something, and then we have to, think about how the parts are going to fit in the greater scheme of things. And once we're able to work out the logistics, that's when we can start to build something, literally resurrecting something from the ground up, and building something of great value, of lasting importance, building a monument and creating a lasting legacy. And so I feel like for many of you, you are that embodiment of that, that monument. I feel that for many of you, I mentioned this last month too, that, hardships build character, right? And I feel like throughout your life, you have been tested many, many times, to test your ability to endure, to test your ability to work hard, to test your ability to say like, you know what, why am I working harder than other people? And we're all like getting the same pay increase or the same pay scale. Why are more responsibilities always laid on me rather than my coworkers, and things like that? I feel like you have been through, your trials and tribulations, and I feel that no matter what, Virgos, you never sidetrack from your path and your way and your destiny. and you kept at it. And as a result of it, all your skills get polished like the alabaster stone, okay, of the cathedral. People really, I feel like people really appreciate your hard work, and people really appreciate that you have a lot of potential and that you're going to go really far. So the scaffolding is almost like people allowing you to rise further, people really going in there and really helping you get ahead, because they know you work really hard and you deserve to get ahead. And then at the end of it, that bell ringing on top of the steeple, I feel like that's, divine source pretty much coming in to kind of like putting that, last finishing touch on the Virgo's life, to allow the Virgo person to really excel and to really soar. Okay. So I feel that somebody might be singing your praise. Somebody might be making it known how wonderful and amazing you are. And somebody is like retelling all your good deeds, all your achievements, all your accomplishments, all the things that you have endured. And they're shouting it off, from the rooftop, like, look at what the Virgo person has achieved. So I feel like either someone is singing your praise, giving, really good reviews, like rave reviews about you, or they are doing this in a way where they're gushing about you when they're talking about you. For some of you, I do feel this is like a love relationship partner, okay? We have here the Ace of Cups. So someone could be literally singing your praise. Like you might have recently started dating a person, right? And they find out, like, you go through your dating spiel and you have a conversation with them and you tell them all the things that you have done, all the places that you have lived, all your achievements. And it's not in a way where it's about bragging and things like that, because Virgos are very modest. You guys don't brag, okay? In some circumstances, when you really like a person and you want to impress them, I feel that you might, share a little bit more about yourself. But I don't feel like, bragging is a characteristic associated with Virgo. But I feel like through interacting with you, somebody is really finding you very impressive. I feel like, they might be standing right next to you and they feel almost like you're monumental, that you are larger than life, that you are beyond comprehension, that you are beyond belief, like too good to be true. Okay. And then for others of you, I feel like this could be in a career work environment where somebody is just really highlighting your skills, highlighting your assets, and really singing your praise. Okay, so I feel that there is this energy of I'm seeing almost like a crowd surfing. Like if you go to a concert and the artist jumps into the crowd and the crowd kind of lifts him up and surfs him around the room. So like crowd surfing, it's like being on top, being in your A game, having a lot of people admiring you and showing you around, displaying you and praising you and sharing, singing your hymns, singing your praises in a room full of people. Okay, so I feel like the energy is very amazing. Okay, there's another thing that I saw. So, the land is prepped, right? So it's flat and people have been stomping it down to flatten the earth and to prepare it to lay a very solid foundation, right? And then the stonemasons come in and they haul, their blocks of stones and marble and alabaster, whatever it is, from far away, okay? And just keep in mind, stones are heavy, right? So they've been doing this, and they have to haul all of the stone from a faraway source in order to build this monument, this cathedral. And so when I saw that too, I was thinking, like, for many of you, life have taken you really, really far away from your roots. Okay, so I feel like somebody who is a little bit of a transplant, okay? Possibly you were born in one area and then now you have migrated and lived in another area. Okay, I feel for many of you, life might have been a series of moves, a series of relocation, a series of like, I almost feel like feeling a little bit like out of your element, feeling like the oddball, feeling like you don't completely fit in. However, I feel that the universe has given you these experiences of migration, of exodus, of transplant, in order for you to strengthen yourself, in order for you to learn. Because honestly, Virgos, let's just be honest, if you were plopped down in one place, right, and the universe didn't give you opportunities to move, most of you are pretty comfortable where you are and you will not move. Okay, you might have, grown up with the same group of friends, gone to the same school, gone to the same high school, had the same high school sweetheart, settled down, married a high school sweetheart, and life might have just been like stable but very stagnant. Okay, not that there's anything wrong with that. I just feel like, given your own preference, I feel like you might not really reach for the stars. You might not really, go big. You might not take these opportunities. And so I feel like for many of you, life was in your earlier childhood and in your young adulthood, life was a series of rapid successions of moves, okay, having to be hauled in from someplace else, having to migrate, having to relocate. Some of you might have been like refugees, going from one country to the next, feeling a little bit like on the outskirts, like looking in, not feeling where you fit in, not feeling rooted and complete and grounded. Okay, but these opportunities had to happen so that you can be given a different perspective, so that you can learn a lot more. Okay, and so there isn't an accident. Things don't happen in things were designed. I feel like things were preordained in a way. And, there is such a thing as human free will, but I feel like there are certain life experiences that the universe might have wanted the Virgo people to have lived through. And I feel like for other signs, the whole, disruptive childhood, I feel like it might have been fun for other signs, but I feel like for you, it was disruptive. Okay, but you're looking back at your life now and you're just like, oh, now I finally understand why that happened. I finally understand, why at that young age I had to do this. I finally understand that these experiences were good for me. So I see a lot of you coming to terms with the fact that you are an amalgamation of your past experiences, and they strengthen you. They gave you a colorful flair to your life, and these experiences were very indispensable in contributing and shaping and polishing and shaping the person that you are today. Okay, and so I feel like something major in your life is coming to a state of completion. Okay, it's polished, it has the bell on it, the icing on the cake, it's ready to be displayed to the rest of the world. Okay, it's inauguration day when the bells chime and the people come in to marvel at this amazing cathedral that was resurrected from the ground up. Okay, with beautiful stained glass window, with all the colors, with all the experiences, with the multitude of hands and shapers and all the people that contributed to the formation of this. Okay, and so you have a lot to be proud of. You have achieved a lot. You have overcome a lot. You have learned a lot. And I feel like you're finally in a state where it's complete. Okay, it's complete. Some of you, I feel like if you didn't have that sense of community, if you feel like you were uprooted, if you feel like a transplant, you felt like you didn't fit in, now you have a very solid foundation. Your foundation is now laid, and it's laid in brick and mortar and stone. And so it is very stable. And so it's a sense of coming into our own. Okay. And it's also a sense of like feeling very complete. Okay. So a major transition in your life is coming into the picture here. We have the Death card, and the Death card is about change, and we have as well the Three of Wands. So what I feel here is this is a major change when it comes to your status. Okay, so the Three of Wands is a situation where we've been waiting for our ships to come in. We've been waiting for news, messages, communication. And I'm drawn to this green here on his girdle or his vest. And then this green bird. The birds are messengers. They signify messages, welcoming good news, and you know, something that we have really long awaited for is finally here. So I feel like this is a change in status, change in communication, and things like that. And so I feel that many of you are welcoming, beckoning and welcoming in the news, the new life, okay? A new lifestyle, a new location, a new life, a new course that you are charting for yourself, or even embarking on a new phase in your life, a new journey, a new beginning of something major, all right? The other image that I saw, it's also very beautiful. I saw a peacock, and it's a white peacock, but the tail feathers are like shades of green and blue. Okay, so it's really strange. So it's a white peacock with really heavy, like a whole train of tail feathers that are just like spread out. It's not erect, but it's like drooped down. And the peacock is on a fence, okay? And the peacock is looking at the sky, looking at the ravens in the sky and the sparrows flying really fast. And the peacock is looking at it. It's like, I want to fly. And then he looks back at his tail and he's all like, but this beautiful tail is really, you know, weighing me down. And then he looks back at the sky, at the sparrows. And he's just like, I wish I could be like a sparrow with really streamlined wings, and I can fly really fast. I can dart in the sky. I can, you know, move back and forth. And so every day he goes back to that fence, right? He's on the fence. His tail is drooped down. So he practices flying. Like, he keeps practicing. But then he's so heavy, the tail is so heavy that he drops back into the ground. So every day he does that. Every day he does that. And then it fast forward. And then one day, his, I guess like after many months, or after many years, his wings are like, I feel like, you know, strong enough where he can actually fly. Okay, so I don't know the anatomy of the peacock, but it just didn't seem to me like that's something possible for him to do. But he's using the tail feathers to kind of like push himself off into the air, and he starts to fly. Okay, and so I feel like this is an image that indicates to me many of you are shedding burdens, shedding something that, you know, might have been on the one hand very beautiful, but is no longer functional in your life. Okay, is no longer functional with your lifestyle, or is no longer applicable to you, is no longer desirable. And what I feel for many of you is this. Okay, we have here the Six of Swords, and the Six of Swords is moving away from something, moving from one location to the next, travel, movement, but also leaving a troublesome situation in the past because we are aiming to have a smoother future. We're aiming for more harmony, for more safe passage, for more, I guess, like calmness in our lives. Okay, leaving the drama behind, not getting involved in the bickering, in the small petty arguments, in the I want to say, like, you know, jealousy, pecking. I'm hearing like pecking, people who it's almost like they dwell on all the negative things rather than on the positive. And it's like, I feel like this might be something coming from you internally as well, where, you know, Virgos, you're seen as, you know, the sign of the perfectionist, right? And so perfectionism can be a double-edged sword, right? You aim for perfection, and then if there's like that one little detail that's not exactly right, it can also really bring you down. Okay, you want things to be perfect down to the minute details. And so I feel like there's this process here of purging purging away this way of thinking or way of doing that has really not served its purpose in your life, okay? Where a whole really positive experience can be ruined by just like one tiny detail, okay? So you're starting to look at the bigger picture. You're starting to look at, you know, in the greater scheme of things, does this little, you know, smear mark on a brand new car, does it really matter? In the greater scheme of things, in this on this beautiful like canvas with, you know, a seaside ocean scene, is like one little grain of sand that's, you know, done in the wrong color. Does it really matter? Does it really diminish the quality of the artwork as a whole? I feel like you're starting to see the big picture, and I feel that you are also starting to like no longer dwell on the little details, no longer dwell on things that don't matter, no longer engaging with people who are conflict ridden and like negative, and no longer allowing the negative thoughts. Oh, I'm not good enough. You know, they're never going to pick me, or that person will never want to date me, or I'm not qualified for this. You're no longer questioning these things because you are coming into the sense of, you know, you have been molded and shaped and polished in a meticulous way by people who are kind of like the masters at their craft, the stonemason, the brick mason, the builders, the architects, and on top of it all, you know, the divine source, okay, the icing on the cake, the bell on the steeple. And so you're starting to realize, you know, it is a work of perfection, okay? I don't need to dwell on it, and I don't need to question it. And so there's this lightness coming over you where you are no longer brought down with negativity, no longer questioning your own capabilities or questioning yourself, and no longer letting other people's bickering and pettiness and things like that affect you, okay? So I see this protective bubble around you. We do have a character that is coming in for this month, okay? And first of all, we have here a fire sign, a Sagittarius, an Aries, or a Leo. And this is somebody who's very, very good at like, so Two of Swords, this ostrich sticking his nose, his face, his head in the sand, okay? So this is sort of like, I'm not making a decision. I'm pretending that it's not affecting me. And this is somebody that refuses to kind of acknowledge the truth, or refuses to budge, or refuses to, it's like a state of blissful denial, okay? Blissful denial. And you might be dealing with a person like this. They're showing up here as a Queen of Wands, Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. I feel like this person is heavily looking at you. For some of you, this might be an ex. For others, it could be a family member. I feel like this is a person that is very curious about you. For some of you, this can also be coworkers, like somebody who's a little bit nosy, I feel, but then on the surface, they try to play it cool, okay? So I feel like they're wondering what you're up to. I feel like there's no information between you and them. They want to know what you're up to. They want to know a lot more about you. They want to know if you're single. They want to know if you're, you know, I wonder if the Virgo has broken up with, you know, so-and-so. I wonder what the Virgo is planning. I wonder what they're scheming. I wonder what their next move is. So I feel like this person is kept in the dark, not because you're keeping them in the dark, but because for whatever reason, they don't have a very direct way of asking for information. It's almost like they want to know certain things about you, but they don't dare ask because they don't want to, I guess, like show their interest. They don't want to show that they care. They don't want to show that they're looking, spying, trying to get information. So I feel like this is somebody that, you know, might have been on the outs with you. They want to get into your life. They want to find a segue back in. They want to find a way to get back in and find out things about you. And I do feel like with this person, there might have been a situation where, you know, you might have turned your back on them. Okay, so I feel like with the Hermit, this is a state of contemplation. This is like heeding your inner calling, following your own light. Okay, so the traditional Rider-Waite deck, the Hermit is an old man with a lamp, okay? And he's shining the way for the rest of the world to follow. He's providing direction and guidance for other people. In this deck, I do feel it's like listening to your own calling, conserving your energy. A lot of the times, Virgo, you know, you embody the Hermit energy. You know a lot. You have a lot of wisdom and a lot of insight. And so a lot of the times you care about people too. And so you tell them, hey, 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 you should do this. You shouldn't do that. Or, you know, listen to me. I know what's best for you. And a lot of the times you are right. A lot of the times you are right. But I also feel like, you know, I'm sensing that some people, they're not ready to hear the truth. They're not ready to hear the wisdom that you have to dole out or dish out. They're not ready to accept certain truths about their life, and they're not ready to hear that, oh, they have to change, you know, their ways or their course of action. I also feel like there might also be people who find you. I don't, okay, I don't, so please don't get mad. But I feel like there might be people who find you annoyingly perfect or annoyingly right, and they don't want to listen to you just to spite you. They don't want to listen to you just to, you know, prove you wrong, like, oh, you know, you don't know everything, Virgos. And so you spend a lot of time giving people advice, being, you know, the shoulder to lean on, telling people what they should and should not do. And I feel like the advice was well-intentioned, but it might have fallen on deaf ears because the other people, whatever they're dealing with in their own life, they were not ready to hear. Okay? They were not ready for advice. They were not ready for that snippet of wisdom. They were like, it's better off and it's easier for them to just be in blissful denial and just, you know, stick their head in the sand and not have to deal with these issues or these things that you're bringing up, because it's just easier, right? And so with this energy, you're not pulling back your energy. You're just like, okay, well, I have this lamp here. I can lead the way. I can show you out of the, you know, the darkness. And yet, if you refuse to follow me, I can't force you. And so you're going to take your lamp and forge your own path and go your own way. Okay. So I feel like that's what it is here. It's about, you know, knowing when people are not ready and not sticking around to wait for them. Knowing when people are like not receptive to what you have to say, and not even bothering to stick around to like convince them. Okay. When the time is not right, the time is not right. When they're not willing to listen, they're just not going to listen. And so we're moving on with that. We don't need to convince society or anybody that we're right. Okay. We just know, like in our hearts of hearts, we just know. And a lot of the times too, you know you're right and everyone knows you're right, but they're not willing to budge. Okay. So exercising a little bit of like detachment and is itself the best form of wisdom. Okay. Detachment, so then you're not expending your energy in dead ends. Okay. Detaching yourself, or detachment, so that you're not it's like you're not infringing on the other person's timelines or free will. Okay. So that's what I'm seeing here. I do feel for many of you, we have another character here, and I'm darting back and forth because I feel like each scenario might apply to different Virgos out there. Okay. We have here the King of Cups. And I feel like this person, okay, water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. This is somebody who is very, I'm drawn to these starfish on his head. Give me just a moment. There's a message coming in. I feel for many of you, you might have moved away from this person. Okay, so like here's you moving on with your life. Life is happening at lightning speed for you guys. So there's a whole concept about, you know, fasting forward. Okay, fast forward. Things are like accelerating. Things are moving really fast. There's going to be a lot of movement this month. And so you need to be in best shape and best form. So make sure you get enough sleep. Make sure you rehydrate. Make sure you feed yourself well. Try to eat on time. I am seeing a soccer mom getting out of her SUV with her soccer kids. And she has like a bunch of granola bars in her purse, okay? So her purse is for the office, but she has granola bars. So I feel like starving or being low energy, not having enough time to eat, having a sugar crash or something that might be very like a serious concern this month because you're overtaxed and things are happening really fast. So make sure you have backup food, crackers, granola bars, Chex Mix, whatever you do, okay? Whatever you have. So just make sure you pack that. Anyways, going back to this person, I feel like somebody, okay, so I feel like somebody finally understands how much you mean to them as you're leaving, okay? When you were around in the picture, there might have been a lot of argument, a lot of like conflict, and a lot of just like ideological differences, but it's in a way where it's really annoying. It's like fighting over things that don't even matter. Okay, fighting over like who's right, fighting over really petty things, keeping scores, and you know, wanting to one up the other person. And so I feel like the relationship might have been very conflict ridden, okay? And so I feel that as much as you want to be right, Virgos, a big part of you really craves harmony, okay? You don't want to hurt anybody. You can be very strongly opinionated, but I also feel like you're tired of conflict, tired of having to prove yourself, tired of arguing, tired of it. Possibly just potentially even falling out of love with a person that is very conflict driven. It's like they have this whirlpool around, like they're like the epicenter of a whirlpool where they pull all the negative things in, and so it can feel very toxic. And so I feel like you're tired of it, and you have, you know, made strides in your life, try to move on, getting rid of like unhealthy habits, smoking, drinking too much, you know, getting like fit, taking care of yourself. You're moving on, okay? And I feel like as you move on, this person is like, wait a minute, I really care about that person, that Virgo. I'm missing their presence. I'm craving their presence. I'm missing their company. I'm missing the bickering even. And so I feel like there might be somebody who's coming in, extending a cup of love, okay? Extending something to you and wanting you to stay. Wanting you, I don't feel like they're in a way where they're trying to sabotage your future or trying to get you to come back and put your life on hold. I don't feel that. I feel that they're supportive of you moving ahead. They're supportive of change. They're supportive of like they want good things for you, okay? But they also wish that they could be there alongside you. And I feel like they might fear that you're forgetting them, okay? So there's a lot here about potentially somebody who's clinging on in this last ditch attempt to get you to notice them, to get you to stay, or to get you to reconcile with them or get back together with them, or, you know, even acknowledge the fact that, because from their end, they're like, I don't want that Virgo person to leave me. I don't want them to go. I don't want them to forget me. And so I feel like they're looking for that acknowledgement, like, you know, don't forget me, don't leave me, make sure you call. So I do sense life is moving ahead for you, and this person is somewhat being left behind, and I feel that they want to see you. They want to make amends. They want to reconcile. They have something they want to say to you, and they have an offer of love that they want to give to you. However, what's coming through for you and what's moving forward ahead in your future here is something bigger and something greater and something new. Okay, so we have new love on the horizon for many, many of you. And I'm getting somebody who is, I'm getting somebody who might work in a newsroom, who does some type of broadcasting, who is, you know, I'm seeing like a microphone. I'm seeing somebody with a notepad. And so it could be, you know, someone in the law profession. I'm getting like a white collar type of a worker with like a black, like an office dress shirt and tie and you know, hair that is well kept, and like a notepad. So somebody who might be in the legal profession, or somebody who might be a broadcaster, a news person, someone who does interviews, someone who takes notes. So like I'm getting in that environment. So for example, if some of you are starting like, you know, school, I feel that you're going to be meeting someone who might be studying journalism, for example, or who might be, you know, in the legal profession. And so I feel like there's something coming in, and I feel like it's associated with those professions that I mentioned earlier. I'm also sensing as well that for many of you, there might be change, like a major change in your relationship status. You might have been single and now you're in a relationship. You might even want to reconcile with this person and then, you know, get yourself into couple status. Although I feel that many of you are opting for something a lot more stable and something a little bit more freer, like a relationship that could be potentially a little bit more liberating, a little bit more freeing, a little bit more independent. Okay? So Virgos, lots of things to consider. Things are going to be happening at lightning speed. It's happening very fast. We have cards of acceleration here, okay? This is like huge travel, huge movement. And then the Six of Swords is traditionally about smooth sailing, and things are going to be facilitated for you in a way where you're going to be in the right place at the right time. And the course that you're taking, I feel that it's going to be really good, okay? I'm so happy to see this for you, Virgos. I do wish you all the very, very best for March. Stay safe. I wish you very strong divine protection. And I hope the reading is helpful for you, okay, as we navigate March 2020. So for those who are interested in a reading, there's a link in the description box below for a psychic. Her name is Bridget, and she's based out of California. She's phenomenal. I highly recommend that you get a reading from her. I also included a link in the description box below for an artist. She's also based out of California, and she does custom artwork with alcohol-based paint, and it's really amazing. So if you are interested, I highly recommend that you give those two ladies a visit to their website. They have really good artwork. All right. I will talk to you guys soon. Take care, and I wish you the very best. Okay. Bye-bye.